Good afternoon. Welcome back to Bariatric Surgery with Melinda P. I'm going to redo my third episode because it was only a few seconds and YouTube automatically turned it into a short instead of a video. So I'm just going to go over what I went over in the shorts. In the previous episode 3 short. But that episode 3 was just really me discussing how I felt after the surgery, the day after the surgery. Immediately after the surgery, I was extremely nauseous. And all day long, I was very nauseous. They did give me a patch behind my ear. That did help a little bit. But also, I was very, very, very tired and drowsy. And I kept asking the nurses to give me something to help me fall asleep, to sleep off the drowsiness. They told me, well, you just came from anesthesia. Anesthesia makes you go to sleep. I said, now I want to get up, but I want to sleep this off first. And so I was in and out of sleep all throughout the day. And I had to use the bathroom it seemed like every 30 minutes. And I was hooked up to an IV. I was hooked up to oxygen. I was hooked up to another machine. And every time that I would get up to move to go to the bathroom, the IV that was in the fold of my arm would move, and then the machine would go off, and the nurses would have to come in to turn it off. Eventually, I just said, tell me which button to push, and I'll push it myself. So you don't have to come in here every time I move. And so the nurses did show me which button to push because it was always going off. Eventually, another nurse came in and moved the IV from the fold of my right arm to I think it was like somewhere in my forearm on my left arm. So that helped because I was going to the bathroom a lot. And I was also given a challenge sheet from a nurse. I had to document how many times I walked, how many times I moved to the chair in the room as opposed to the bed, and how many times I coughed, how many times I took sips of the liquid. So I had Powerade Zero and some sugar-free cranberry juice. And so I would have little cups, they're an ounce, and I would have to sip, sip, sip. And I'm used to just gulping my beverages down and not really thinking about just sipping and taking my time. But I have to now. I did at one point try to gulp it, and I felt it in my chest, and it was just really uncomfortable. So now I know I have to sip, and it takes me a long time to drink anything, but I know I have to take my time sipping. And so I was crossing off the ounces, coughing, and breathing regularly, deep breathing, even though it was really hard and a little bit painful to deep breathe and cough and even blow my nose. I actually had to purchase a nose, whatever people use to help babies unclog their nose, unstuff their nose. I forget what it's called, but I had to buy one of those because I couldn't blow my nose because it hurt, but I needed to get the mucus out. So I was using that for a while. But back in the hospital, because I was getting up every 30 minutes, as it seemed, the night nurse, she challenged me. Every time I get up, she challenged me to walk around the halls. And I did that, and that meant I was walking a lot. So I knocked out the challenge sheet in terms of walking, and then I worked on when I came back from the walk, or when I came back from the bathroom, I would sit in the chair, in the recliner chair, as opposed to going back in bed. And so I was doing that all night. I was up 1, 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, 5 o'clock. And then my potassium levels were low. And so I had to be given a potassium in the IV. And 4 hours later, I had to be given potassium to drink. And then I had to wait 4 hours for the doctor to come and release me. But I was able to get discharged sooner than I had the I did have to wait the first 4 hours, and then when I was given the liquid, I didn't have to stay there for the second dose. So the doctor let me go. She was really very very happy on how I was feeling and how the surgery went well. I don't remember if she said she needed to do a hernia repair. I don't remember, but whatever I needed to get done was done, and it was successful. So I'm actually now back at Christiana Hospital in Wilmington, Delaware for my 2-week follow-up. And I will do I'll do a video to discuss what I had learned in my appointment. My blood pressure, I had to share this with you. My blood pressure has been going down and decreasing, and to the point there were several days that I did not need to take my blood pressure medication. There were some days that I needed to take half of it. Some days I would need to take full. But I'm really hoping that over the next few weeks, I will no longer need the blood pressure medication. I haven't slept with my CPAP machine since before the surgery, and that's good. I think I need to return to using it just to for compliance reasons, but I'll go back to doing that at some point. But I just really feel like I don't really need anything, and I don't need anything to help me fall asleep. I have been taking a muscle relaxer in the evening, which does make me a little drowsy, but I only have like 1 or 2 nights left on that. So we'll see if I need anything to help me sleep, because I've really struggled with insomnia and have struggled with insomnia for the past 24 years. And so hopefully with the weight loss and the positive effects of the surgery, a lot of these issues that I'm dealing with, health issues, physical issues, even emotional and mental issues, those will be completely gone, eradicated. So I'm really excited. So I'll be going in. I'm about an hour early for my appointment because I wasn't sure about the traffic. There was some traffic coming here from Pennsylvania to Delaware. So I am glad that I left early, and so I can sit actually and relax a little bit, and then I'll go in for my appointment. But I will come back and let everyone know how that went. Thank you.